Imagine, if you will, a circle of friends who've known each other since dirt, each a character in their own right. They enjoy the company of one another, and their connections are almost magical when they're together, attracting smiles and attention wherever they go. And they go some pretty magical places. They have a passionate history with paranormal and ghostly experiences, both together and individually. This has led them into a lifelong expedition to explore the unseen, unexplained side of our world. They've done their homework on the paranormal subjects over the years and have been completely dissatisfied with the conventional research available. So, they decided to be slightly unconventional in seeking answers. This is a journal of their search, research, and adventures together. The Grove Street trailer is a private residence where the reported paranormal experiences were so physical, unfriendly, and frequent in nature they could be classified as poltergeist activity. When we got the phone call for this investigation, it came from the local police department, who honestly didn't know how to help the family when they showed up at the station in the middle of the night. They claimed to be so traumatized by the ghostly activity that they slept together in the living room for several nights before moving completely out of the home. When we began our night vigil at Grove Street, it was a quiet and empty trailer. We experienced very little physical activity while we were there, but when we reviewed the audio, we found some of the best electronic voice phenomenon, or EVPs, we've ever heard. Here for your consideration are the audio anomalies we found at the Grove Street trailer. Unless otherwise noted, no audio enhancements have been made to these sound clips, except to raise the volume. We met the client at her trailer just before sunset. She was very nervous, and her husband flatly refused to re-enter the trailer, but she stayed long enough to take us on a hasty walkthrough. This EVP was captured on a handheld digital voice recorder as we made our first lights-out tour of the trailer. The family advised us that the presence in their home was not a friendly guy. His unmistakable voice gave us a clear understanding of just how welcome we were. This next clip sounds like the same male voice speaking once again to a handheld voice recorder during the same walkthrough. We're not completely sure that he's saying "you're here," but that was the general consensus. It's definitely "you're something." With all of the EVPs we recorded at this location, we found several voices that were similar and consistent throughout. This is another sound clip of what we believe to be the same male voice again. His comments didn't seem to be in direct response to any of our questions or conversations, although some of them certainly related to us being there. This is another EVP captured with a handheld recorder on our initial walkthrough. It's also the second recognizable voice we found in our Grove trailer collection. Was she talking to us or to someone else? We aren't sure because we were moving from room to room, but the words are exceptionally clear. This EVP is another capture from our short but very active initial walkthrough. We think it sounds like the same female voice from the previous capture.
A little longer, a little longer, a little longer, a little longer.
We wondered what she meant by this, but many of the EVPs we got that night are a curiosity. We had a lot of trouble with our equipment that night, especially dead batteries and videotapes that didn't want to record for some unknown reason. This EVP was captured when I was struggling with my camera, and my frustration was peaking. If you're a minor, cover your ears. I'm about to drop an F-bomb.
Ditsy broad, devil motherfucker. Ditsy broad, devil motherfucker.
We assume this means that F-bombs are explosive on many planes. We debated on whether or not to use a sensor beep on this clip, but decided that it would really take away from the EVP itself. If we ever go network, we'll reevaluate that decision. After taking base readings and wrangling with our equipment issues, we set up an EVP session in the living room. The client reported this area to be a hot spot, which included objects moving on their own from one room to another in front of horrified witnesses. During this session, we could actually see shadows moving around the kitchen, but we were unable to catch them on film. We did, however, capture some great audio.
Is there anyone here that would like to show themselves or be heard?
If you stand in front of it, you might actually fuzz the picture. We would know that you were there.
Did you live here on this property?
Can you move any of those lights?
What is your last name?
Come on out here.
That was interesting. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
At one point I asked, "Did you live on this property?" And there's a very creepy and distinct yes answer, but it was only the ice maker. The other vocal responses, whistling and indistinct chatter, was not heard at the time of the recording, but was found later during review and playback. We decided it was time to take a little break and we went out onto the front porch, but we left our static voice recorder running inside. You can hear us in the background, completely oblivious to all the thumps, taps, and voices heard around the microphone. The voice seems to be trying to get our attention with the hey and the help, then goes on to say a very clear hurt. Is this a residual moment from history captured on our voice recorder, or is this a spirit asking for our assistance? Sadly, we'll probably never know because we no longer have access to this residence.